I don't do no sucking shit. No sucking shit on me.
I'm from Detroit.
Say I suck a
darling.
I'm right here, right now. Phone right down, right now. I'm going up back. I don't give a fuck about this. I'm doing this shit for the internet.
I'll show you I ain't doing it for the internet.
All right. This last 5150 show has gone from a fight that never happened to a full-blown WWE promo.
Diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying.
Because for damn sure, there was equal opportunity for either one of them to spark something. This argument has been viewed more times than the Zapruder film. I'm an actual intellectual. I just play dumb on YouTube. I came across this Poetik Flakko video. Shout out to Poetik Flakko for the coverage. And it just made me see how ridiculous this whole thing has gotten.
The Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels situation has gotten worse since the last time we covered it.
Sure has.
I don't do no sucking shit. No sucking shit on me.
I'm from Detroit.
Say I suck a
darling.
I'm right here, right now. Phone right down, right now. I'm going up back. I don't give a fuck about this shit. I'm doing this shit for the internet.
I'll show you I ain't doing it for the internet.
Ain't no, cause you ain't gonna do shit. Cause you're not gonna do shit.
Come at me with that sucking again.
You're not gonna
come at me with. Say I suck again.
We can go out back right now. We can go out back right now. I'm with it.
I bet you won't say that.
We can go out back.
And he didn't say it again. That's for sure. But for some people, for some reason, that's not enough. I can tell you from Corey's vantage point, if he had said it again in that moment, it would have been a fight. It would have been a fight, for sure. And Anton made the calculation to not do it. But he got up and walked away, saying he wanted to go outside. But in actuality, he's just really creating distance between the two of them. And also, Anton's security being there is not going to allow him to get beat up in a fade outside in Pasadena. We'll get into that.
You know by now that this argument started and they almost came to blows because Anton Daniels said that Corey Holcomb be sucking black people's D in a conversation about holding your own people accountable. Corey Holcomb says Anton Daniels only speak badly about black people and don't address white people at all. Anton Daniels said that Corey Holcomb's only speak highly of black people and he be sucking their D. That got, Corey Holcomb very upset. Anton Daniels, to his credit, didn't back down. Corey Holcomb ultimately chose to be mature and not get violent with Anton Daniels during the podcast. But
right. Nobody ever talks about that point. A lot of people in my comments were arguing with me about my whole take on the video before, but they don't talk about the maturity it takes to not actually fire off on somebody, right?
Anton Daniels' actions after this podcast has made Corey Holcomb regret not being violent with Anton.
Right here, I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know where Flakko's getting that information, but that's not necessarily true. I have it on good authority that Corey really don't give a damn about none of this. You haven't seen Corey make one video after the incident on Tuesday.
That's with you.
Okay.
That was like this.
Yeah.
He was holding the microphone like this. That's
okay.
That's the honest to God on everything. That was shaking like a stripper, bro.
So Corey Holcomb was shaking in his boots, terrified of Anton Daniels.
Right.
I got it.
I know people don't know this, but that's what I do. I don't talk about it online. I shoot fair ones all the time.
Anton, bro. Yeah, I blame Corey Holcomb, man. A square catch, 1W, man. They start acting outside their body.
I got 3 brothers, nephews, friends. If we have a problem, we shoot a fair one.
Yeah.
That's not me being tough. I'm not tough. I'm not none of that shit. Let me be very clear. I want to be very, very clear. I want you to hear it from me directly. I would have beat the shit out of Corey.
Corey Holcomb really created a monster.
Really? Hold on. Anton, this is crazy. It's crazy that it's gotten to this point. Corey's in a lose-lose situation right there. But I guarantee you there's a reason when boxing matches happen, they have different weight classes. Now, I'm not going to say that every big guy is automatically going to beat the smaller guy. But Corey is noticeably larger than Anton. Okay? I've seen some guys that could just lay on somebody and the fight would be over, right? I don't think Corey is letting you get off on him with multiple combos, Anton. I don't think that's realistic. I mean, you might have got your one shot in and the security would have come and broke it up, or Phil would have come over. It sounded like Phil was about to jump up anyway, but he stayed on the other side. But yeah, like, I don't think that's realistic, yo.
Corey Holcomb really created a monster, bro. But the nastiest part about this all is Anton saying that he did this for Black MAGA.
Free media says, thank you for standing tall for Black conservative men. Oh yeah, they think they think that just because we Republican and we conservative that we
Crazy how squares switch up so fast.
Now, I will agree with him. You should never underestimate anybody, especially based on their political beliefs. You know, I'm not saying that just because you're conservative that you should be able to handle yourself in any given situation. But, you know, you want to give people their credit. And honestly, I'll be frank. I'm going to take Anton at his word that he got into a couple scraps with his peoples, and that gives him the confidence to know that he can handle himself in a situation, as a man should be able to, right? But that's baseline, right? we not going on here saying we super thug now. And the way we playing this, the way we selling this fight is that it's not going to be a good outcome for either one of them if they ever see each other again. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy how squares switch up so fast. Yo, a square will go from, I'm not a violent guy, I'm not a tough guy, man, I don't want no smoke, bro, I'm not gangster, to the moment they was able to finesse or swindle a W in the internet's eyes in a physical confrontation, they will go from, oh, I'm not no tough guy, to language like this in a heartbeat.
Corey would have got the beat out of me.
Anton has gotten so beside himself after getting his W over Corey Holcomb that Anton is now telling people that podcasters are terrified to sit down and look him in his eyes in person, as if like he's some type of boogeyman or something, man.
I'm keeping it 100, bro. I'm keeping it 100. Man, I knew that nigga wasn't gonna do nothing. That nigga was shaking like a stripper. He telling Darlene, "Hey, move over there. Let me get next to this." That's for the internet. That's straight up for the internet. I never moved. I sat right there, right next to that nigga, and I continued to cook that nigga the whole time. I was in his backyard. I'm in LA right now in his spot with his people all around talking to that nigga.
What are you gonna do, brother? He's in his bag. He's in his promo bag. He's in his promo bag, man. I can't be mad at him. Anton said he's gonna make $1 million off of this thing. If he keeps up at this clip, because this live stream was literally while 5150 was still going on, right? He went on to his other channel at the hotel and got online and started woofing, boy. Woofing.
Talking to that nigga. Let me tell you, he never coming back from this. That's why I'm telling y'all, whenever his show ends, need to download that shit and never let him forget it, because I don't go based off. That's why I told Mika, right? Because I had Mika with me. And the reason why I brought Mika with me is because I wanted to promote her show and shit. Neither here nor there. I told Mika, I told my security, and I told somebody else. I said, I'm not doing nobody else's platform unless it's going to be face to face. I told a Millionaire Morning Show that. Because everybody talk a good game until you right there in front of them.
All right, man. The industry terrified of Anton Daniels, man. All right.
That's what I'm saying now. He about to be on a podcast tour of fades. He just going out there. And it's funny how everybody goes to LA and I think it's part of the tourist experience now. They like, yo, I got to have a fade while I'm out there in LA. You know, I heard what Drake say. I heard West Coast niggas do fades, right? No. You don't have to have a fade just because you went to LA. This is ridiculous at this point, man. You're going to get yourself hurt. You know, and that's the thing. Anton don't realize how lucky he was. Like, there's some people that are normally in that space that actually are with all of that. They would have set the fight up for you. They would have made sure that things happen a certain way. There wouldn't have been no slipping out the back door, you know, they would have been there. And, you know, I don't know. It could have been more eventful is what I'm saying. I'm just saying. And then when Craig pulled up right after the event. He and that was a whole nother thing. He said he blocked the entrance. He want to make sure he get this conversation and nobody slips out. But just the timing wasn't right. That's what I'm saying, man. You better, somebody praying for you, man. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, bro. All right, man. Yo, some people just aren't used to taking W's, man. I'm actually a fan of Anton Daniels, the content creator, because Anton Daniels, he put in a lot of hard work, and he produces a lot of content that are somewhat.
And that's what I want people to understand about me too. I subscribe to Anton's channels. I've talked to Anton. Like, Anton's cool dude, you know what I mean? I thought this would be a good collab for the two of them. Why in the hell did it end up this way? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, I guess oil and water just don't mix, man.
Entertained. I gotta click off once Anton Daniels start getting into like the shucking and jiving and the bootlicking. I gotta click off because I don't want to have a negative opinion of Anton Daniels. Feel me, bro? Like, I don't really want to, like, hate the dude, bro. Right? And and certain things he get into, I just can't rock with. But this new arc now of like he Suge Knight now. He Suge, right? The industry don't want to see him in person because they know what's up.
And that's what I'm saying. That gives you a bad reputation out here. Now, everybody's podcast you go to, if you go to Up and Smoke, if you go to, they expecting this same energy now. That's what I'm saying. You set the bar very high now for every subsequent appearance on somebody else's platform, in person. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's either that or don't be on anybody's platform other than your own, which I think defeats the purpose here. So I think Anton has actually benefited from especially making appearances on like Fox News and other people's shows, even having a little back and forth with the Joe Budden podcast. Each of those things kind of pushes him up a notch. I don't know if this one does the exact same thing. Now you have more people that are knowledgeable of who he is. They're aware of who he is. They can check out his channel if they so please. But I don't know if he actually gains anything other than the chance to do this tour of what I would have done. Yeah, man. But you got to be careful in this because there are a lot of people out there that love Corey Holcomb. I'm just going to leave it like that. Probably some pretty serious people that love Corey Holcomb. Like, that's where this gets interesting. We don't want to see Anton get hurt, but to go out here and pump this up after the fact and to continue to make it, like, even to implicate the city of Los Angeles in it, to, then it draws more attention to the situation. And for you to move around like you want to move around, like, you need allies. That's all I'm going to say. You need allies out here to move around freely. And that's anywhere. That's anywhere you go.
Let me tell you something. Every last one of these, if they ever want to do something in person, I'm pulling up.
See?
I told that on the phone before I even pulled up. I said, bro, I know you gonna come at me weird, but just know you're gonna get the same energy.
Hey, tell me why everybody on that panel looks so disinterested. Like, like my man here in the corner, he really got a blank face, like 2K's just laying back, like listening. Ladies are kind of blank face. I don't know. It just seems a little odd. Everybody is just kind of not even really tripping. And Molly with a blonde wig on and a Death Row shirt on, ironically.
I told him straight up on the phone.
For Suge Knight.
That's why I bullied that on his own platform, a ass comedian. I bullied that. Let me tell you something, bro.
Suge Daniels.
He said, who I coward? I said, Dave Chappelle, you scared of Dave. I told that straight up to his face on his own platform. I said, you scared. You tiptoed around in there when you reviewed his platform.
All right, so Anton, what was
so my point is this, man, I'm not worried about it. I got the people I got around me is different, bro. Let me tell you, I know the same people that he know. Y'all be thinking that, man, listen, bro, listen. Ain't nobody tough. I'm not pretending to be tough. I'm not none of that.
But you are pretending. But you are pretending to be tough. You call this man a B. You call this man out of his name. You say you would have put him to sleep. You is popping it right now. I'm going to let y'all in on a secret. Anton Daniels finessed Corey Holcomb during his interaction. Anton understood his security was there. So, like, Corey Holcomb really couldn't do anything to him. He had armed security with him at Corey Holcomb's podcast. So when Anton, like, kept on saying, hey, bro, let's go outside. If you really want to fight, let's go outside. Anton understood the minute they hop off camera and go outside, his security is not allowing him to fight or get touched.
Exactly.
So there was no expectation of Anton being in danger or, right? Because, again, it was Anton and Corey Holcomb had his staff and some dudes he rocked with there. But Anton was the only one there with security, armed security at that. So, like, there's very little Corey Holcomb could have done to Anton. So Anton walked in, I think, looking to mark out.
Plus, it was $1 million worth of LED wall right behind them. Like, that's a real LED wall. If you ever see The Mandalorian or any of those Star Wars shows on Disney Plus, that's what Corey Holcomb has behind him. That thing is worth $1 million, probably more, because they got it upgraded. So now we about to tear this up over US the D of the black community. Really? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Corey had to get close to him to actually see if he would say it again. He's like, did you really mean that? Like, did you really mean that? All right, I need you to say it for me one more time. US the D. And trust me, y'all have said it many, many times. Corey did say that Anton was an ass kisser. Right. He was an ass kisser. He was an ass kisser of white men. But that was part of the larger thesis he had about that he'll talk about white women and not talk about white men. So is it worth all that? Is it worth all that? Neither one of them is going to give $1 million to that business, the Coin Academy, to replace that wall. But I'm hearing Corey, they say handle your business regardless of what happens. If somebody come up in there disrespecting, it's your responsibility to take them out. So don't come back trying that stuff again. Nobody else, no copycats.
Corey Holcomb knowing that, like, there's only so far this could go. But the fact that Anton is now saying, oh, I'm not trying to be tough, while at the same time being tough is like, bro, it's not. I don't think Anton can fool the internet into thinking he's something he's not, because I feel like right now we all have a perception of who Anton is for the most part, and this interaction didn't really change that,
So it's either do something or leave, because what you do is now you putting the security in a situation. Now you getting Mika in a situation, right? Yeah. Now you putting them in something, and they got to respond because, it's going if it go there, it get fucked up. So it's either.
I don't think Mika could handle Darlene. I'm just saying. Darlene the OG. I don't know. Mika's little, but she's in shape. I don't think she can handle Darlene OG Ortiz. The OG is there for a reason. I think Darlene was taking them Taibo classes too back in the day. So don't get Mika in it.
It's going if it go there, it get fucked up. So it's either you go or you do something about it. I'm not a tough guy. So I left. So
can I ask you this? Once it
start going there and you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I've already done my due diligence. I've already kicked his ass on his own platform. It's time to go.
Yeah. So can I ask you what was the overall goal of going on the platform? Like,
He
was you
said,
hoping to get
now you
some
insinuating. He said you insinuating you was there without you. I'm not here with my. I just talked to my chick on the phone, literally.
Okay.
Why do you think it went left to begin with? Just
Because he's used to. Niggas think because you're Republican and you conservative or whatever, that shit is just. I don't think he know, right? Because don't nobody know nobody until they actually in front of him, right?
Now, see, Anton, I don't think that's being 100% honest either. Corey had enough respect for you to even request you to be on the show. Like, he actually is quite aware of what's going on YouTube, a lot more aware than most people would think at his level. You know, so I think Corey probably had some respect for you, and he doesn't invite you to his show unless he does. You know, he might have had some disagreements with you, because I think he did, but he wanted to have a discussion with you because he thought maybe you all could see eye to eye at some point. You know, he's talked to several times about building with other YouTubers and kind of building kind of a collective think tank of sorts, you know, and I think he thought you had a place in that, but here we are. But either way, man, I want this thing to resolve smoothly. Everybody go back to their respective corners. Let's be respectful. Let's, you know, not talk about what would have happened because the situation didn't happen. And let's go on about our business, you know. I'm not gonna lie, this really took over the news cycle. This has been, I mean, it's been a flood of videos, reactions, and, you know, it's been a kind of a shot in the arm into a early 2026 January that's been kind of quiet. So anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. Make sure you sign up for the Patreon. The link is in the description. This is Faucette Media.